With all the noise going on around the Chicago Cubs, today's game is one we needed for certain. That's how you respond. That's how you respond on a day where you get some of the worst possible news that you can get in a season where you're hoping to be in the National League Championship Series. That's how you respond. You go out there and you play inspired baseball. You go out there and you show the fan base that there is reason to still believe that this team can be something special. Hey, our record may not show it right now. Hey, things aren't going our way early, but hey, we are fully capable of turning this thing around. Coincidentally enough, Ian Happ was on 670 The Score earlier today, and he was talking about how the team is due for an offensive outburst. Coincidentally enough, Ian Happ didn't play today, and guess what? The team had an offensive outburst. So I don't know if the 2 and 2 coincide, but I think it's just super ironic. Guys, I'm your host, Mike Jones, here with another episode of Chicago Cubs Central. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I just want to start off with energy and with more than anything, gratitude and thanks. The Chicago Cubs showed up and showed out on a day where they had every reason to hang their hats and say, you know what? Just not our day. You lose Cade Horton for the season. All types of bad news going around. All types of rumors swirling. Season has not went your way, to be frank with you. But yet and still, the Chicago Cubs come out and give an inspired effort. Albeit the original guy that was supposed to pitch for the Tampa Bay Rays his wife ended up going into childbirth early, so he got scratched from the game and they did a bullpen game. But yet and still, I'm still pleased at the fact that the Chicago Cubs did their thing today offensively. But more importantly than that, first time being called up from AAA. First time this season being able to pitch in the majors. And he comes in and he gives you an inspired performance. 5 2/3 innings, 1 hit baseball, no earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts on 80 pitches, 49 of those being strikes. ERA is 0. Picks up his first win of the season. Ladies and gentlemen, your pick to perform player of the game, Javier Assad. I know PCA got his home run. I know Moises Ballesteros got his home run. But Javier Assad, we needed a good pitching effort. After Jameson Taillon struggled early on, we needed to have a good, strong start. And Javier Assad came in and gave you that very, very, very strong start. Such a dependable effort from this young man. This is what you needed to see from the Chicago Cubs today. Fans were doubting. People were pissed. Everybody's up in arms, including myself. I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like I'm exactly happy with where we are this season. I had higher expectations for us to start the season. However, at the same time, I also am going to tell you guys the truth. This is how you respond. This is how you silence all the doubters. You come and you put forth a performance like this. Now, what you can't do is you can't follow up a performance like this with a terrible performance tomorrow. You have a chance to win the series against the Tampa Bay Rays and bring yourself back to 500 baseball with 6-6 on the season, and the Pirates come into town and you miss Paul Skeens. You have every opportunity to put forth an effort to get yourself on the winning side of things. In this game, guys were hot, including somebody that we needed to see this from. Alex Bregman, 3 of 5 in this game. Hard hit balls. Scored a run in this game. Piker Armstrong, 3 for 5 in this game. Scored 3 runs in the game. Moises Ballesteros, 2 for 4 in the game. Scored 2 runs in the game. 3 RBIs. Dansby Swanson, 2 for 5. Michael Conforto, 2 for 3. Matt Shaw, 2 for 5. Can you believe it? Matt Shaw, guys, giving us offense. Miguel Amaya went 0 for 5 in this game from the catcher position. And my man Michael Busch is struggling. I'm worried about Michael Busch, guys. 154 on the season right now. Breggy got his stuff back up to 200. His batting average back up to 200. Nico is batting 297. PCA 256. Miguel Amaya 294. Moises Ballesteros 208. Dansby is at 162. He was really struggling. 250 for Conforto and 250 for Matt Shaw. Guys, if the Chicago Cubs offense can come alive, we are going to be in a very, very, very good spot, despite starting off slow, despite the injuries. And you really buy the organization some time, which will be our next topic we'll talk about as to what to do now that you lose really, somebody that you are hoping could maybe start game 1 or 2 of a playoff series for you. He's going for the year. So again, but you look at this and you say to yourself, this is the effort that you want to see from the Chicago Cubs. This is what you want to see the Chicago Cubs become. And this is what you need. You need Moises Ballesteros to hit the baseball. You need PCA to hit the baseball. You need guys, your sluggers, to slug. It's truly important. And I'm just excited, man. I'm excited because this is what we needed to see from these guys. We got one more game without Seiya Suzuki. And then after that, you begin to have a little bit more depth because then you can move Matt Shaw around. He's not stuck in right field. So you can give Breggy some days off. You can give Nico Horner a day off if he needs it. You can kind of play with the lineup a little bit. So I know things look dim and gray. And I'm not going to pretend like everything is A-okay because the Chicago Cubs won one game. It's just one game. But let them stack some wins like this and build some confidence and play how we know they can play. We're having a different conversation. We're having a completely different conversation. Guys are going to be excited about what the Cubs are going to do. Guys are going to be excited about who the Cubs are. And you should be, because they really are a great team. They struggle when guys can't hit home runs, but then there's days like today where they're just able to knock the cover off the ball, and it's fun baseball to watch. This was a fun game to watch. I enjoyed it, and I hope you guys did too. And I hope we see more of this from the Chicago Cubs. But yeah, Javier Assad, man. Javier Assad. Phil Maton, y'all, still was brought into this game. This game was way out of reach. Phil Maton has to get it together, or we got to figure something else out with him, because he allowed 3 hits, gave up 2 runs in 2/3 of an inning. They had to call in Caleb Thielbar to finish the inning. He couldn't even finish the inning, y'all. That is disturbing. He is your who's ice cold right now player is Phil Maton. Somebody that we went out specifically and got. Signed to a 2-year deal. This ain't going to do it. This ain't going to do it. But I don't know. Maybe he's injured, or he's not telling us, or something's going on that we don't know about. But something's got to give with him. Something has to give. We'll see, though. Tomorrow, it is Colin Ray going up against Joe Boyle in the getaway day game for the Chicago Cubs. 5:40 p.m. against Tampa. You got Thursday off. And then, like I said, then Friday, you begin the series at home, back at home against none other than the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm excited, guys. I'm excited to see what the Chicago Cubs can do. I hope you guys are excited too. Like I said, I think it's going to be I think the Cubs are going to kind of try to right the ship here and keep us excited about what they got going on. With that being said, the big news. Oh, sorry. Colin Ray is your starter for tomorrow for the Chicago Cubs. So he's going to go for the Cubs tomorrow. So then that kind of pushes back Jameson Taillon and Shota Imanaga. They both will see play against the Pirates. So it'll probably go Shota, JMO, and then Shota, Cabrera, then JMO, probably more than likely for against the Pirates. So, which I don't hate. We'll see. Again, I'm just thankful you missed skiing, so it really gives you a chance. You really should go into the weekend planning a sweep, win all three. It's hard to do, but again, if you're the Chicago Cubs, that should be your mindset. With that being said, it is imperative that we stack runs. Why? And stack wins because we have lost the guy that was going to be the guy for us, guys. We lost for the whole entire season, Cade Horton. Not sure if he is doing full Tommy John surgery or if he is going to get a splint put into his arm. And like I said, either way though, it's another elbow surgery or another arm surgery for Cade Horton. He has already had Tommy John surgery once already in his career. Just unfortunate. Just unfortunate. He knew it. He knew. That's why he had tears in his eyes when he left, when he walked out of the game, because he knew whatever was going on, it wasn't good. And the sight of it happening was in Cleveland. And it meant so much to him. And he's very, very upset. But this gives an opportunity for the Chicago Cubs. There's 3 different options we have here, folks. And I want you guys to think about these. There is the option of Justin Steele, which got blown away when the telecast, when they mentioned the fact that Justin Steele would not be ready until June, at the earliest June 14th, I think is where they said Justin Steele will be ready to go again. So Justin Steele is kind of out of it. I know people have been asking about that. We still got to get through April and May. We won't get Justin Steele back until the middle of June. Then there's also the thought process of, okay, well, what about Jackson Wiggins? And from everything I've heard, Jackson Wiggins isn't ready yet. Just not. So then the thought process goes to, okay, well, what about Lucas Giolito? And a lot of people on X were excited about this. The Chicago Cubs did go watch Lucas Giolito in Chicago pitch this past fall and winter. And like I said, he was there. He was doing show days, like kind of showing everybody what he can do. He is still available. You could sign him to a 1-year contract deal to come pitch for you. Lucas Giolito last year was not terrible for the Boston Red Sox. Again, he's just getting up there in age, and he does give up the home run ball. So again, I mean, I don't know. The Chicago Cubs, I have every faith. Let me say this loud and clear. I have every faith in Jed Hoyer to make the right decision when it comes to the team and what to do with this pitching thing. The Chicago Cubs may need to trade somebody to add on to this team another pitcher. I do not expect them to go all out and get a very, very expensive pitcher either. If they do go out and they make trades, it'll be for somebody that is a decent mid-tier pitcher, somebody that you could plug in, fourth or fifth spot. You're looking at right now your top pitchers being Matthew Boyd and being Edward Cabrera. Those are going to be your guys. That's your 1 and 2 right now. And we're praying to God that Shohei Managa figures it out and that Jameson Taillon is able to steady himself and that Javier Assad can keep going the route that he's going. And then, of course, like I said, you got Colin Ray, who's just been steady. So we'll see. We'll see. We got some dependable guys out there. We'll see what the Cubs are able to do with this. But that's the episode for today, man. And of course, as always, you guys already know every single time the Chicago Cubs win a game, we fly the W right here on Chicago Cubs Central. Listen, I appreciate you guys so much. Do me a favor. Make sure that you guys like, share, and subscribe. You also join Chicago Cubs Central Facebook group. And of course, as always, make sure that you guys like, share, and subscribe so that you never miss an episode over here on Chicago Cubs Central, your #1 spot for all things Chicago Cubs. I appreciate you guys. Until next time, go Cubs go. Peace.
Thank you for watching another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, the #1 spot for all Chicago Cubs content. Remember to like, share, subscribe for more Cubs content.